Yo, 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 what's up, everybody? Welcome into the Right Wager podcast. I'm your host, the big man on campus here on a Friday afternoon. It's 5 o'clock, September 7th, 2018. We're getting into the week 2 college football card, week 1 NFL. I'll break down some soccer today, talk a little League of Nations as well, or Nations League, whatever you want to call it, and get into that and more. I welcome you in. Hopefully you have a great day and you're having a great day and you have a good weekend as well. I'm going to try to do this a little bit more frequently. Obviously, it's tough during football season because, Monday through Thursday, there's not a whole lot going on. But as we get Maction and all sorts of other stuff, plus soccer's off right now. So there's not a ton going on during the week. But before we get into the show, I want to take 5 minutes and talk about Mac Miller. I was on Twitter just, about a half hour ago and saw that Mac Miller had died, 26 years old. I'll go out and say it. Kids was one of the best mixtapes I've ever heard. I've followed Mac Miller's entire career. I remember seeing him when I was young. I remember around the 2009, 2010 when he really came onto the screen. I'll be honest and real. He was never someone that, as far as music was concerned, it's not something that I would generally listen to. I'm more of a very hardcore rap guy, busting guns and shit like that. But, Mac Miller, I in a way related to a bit, especially at that time. He was from Pittsburgh, not that far away. He was white, obviously. And he was kind of something that we all could relate to, a bit. And hearing about his passing really tore me up. I listen to Mac a lot. I still do to this day. Blue Slide Park was terrific. All those, all those mixtapes he put out were terrific. Kids, like I said, was to me one of the best mixtapes I've ever heard. And I always loved his freestyles. He always did everything off the top of the head. He was only 26. Couple years younger than me. And look, I said it on Twitter, and I'm going to say it here. I'm sick of drugs destroying people's lives, whether we know them, whether we don't, whether they're celebrities, whether they're not, whether they're just friends and family or somebody we know. It's getting sickening. I'm getting tired of it. I'm getting sick of it. If you have someone that you know is addicted to drugs, try to get them help. Go and try to get them to go seek help. You can only do so much. I get that, but don't be the guy that just kind of belittles them or doesn't help. If you can help one person, that's a lot. I don't know. It's sad, because he's someone I really enjoyed listening to. Kool-Aid and Frozen Pizza was probably my favorite track he ever put out many years ago, probably 2009 maybe. I was almost 9-10 years ago now. I was really young at the time. Nike's on My Feet was terrific. I remember he put out Best Day Ever, Donald Trump. All those tracks were great. Knock Knock. And it's funny, kind of a relation to that song, Knock Knock. When I was younger, when the Flyers went to the Stanley Cup Finals, Knock Knock was their song, like their theme song. It was a big song in the dressing room and everything. And a friend of mine, Little Louis C, he was a rapper in Philly at the time. He's from the neighborhood that I lived in. He did a Flyers track to that beat, and I always will remember that. Obviously I didn't know Mac Miller, but you feel like people, and you almost want to, it's almost like family, I felt the same way when Avicii died because, as we get older, things change, you go different ways but you still remember the memories that you had when you were younger. And these were all part of my, childhood, and, sucks seeing people die so young. But, yeah, I agree, Jay Sandu. You're totally right. He died by a drug overdose, unfortunately. But yeah, let's keep it going here. Let's move on. Let's get into some soccer. Let's get into some football. I'll take some questions a little bit later. I'm looking forward to week 2. I didn't have a great week 1. I was 1-2 on my picks. I thought I was tad unlucky with some of my the way things went with some of my games, but it's only one. It's only one day. It is what it is. We move on to this week, where I do expect to have some winners. Looking forward to those. Um, but so feel free to send in any questions you might have on the card. How about those Eagles? Yes, it was a great win last night. Really enjoyed that game. It was a big win. Obviously, getting a win like that with injuries and against a team like that is always it's always good. So, today in soccer, kind of an interesting day. Did okay. If you want to follow my picks, I give them out on. I just kind of give them out for free. We do the shows on SBR. I'm not on tomorrow's or Sundays, but I am doing another video over the weekend. But I gave out a couple plays today, and all the games we went over them. Me, Natalie, and Flash gave out Albania. They came in. I know my side well. Talent Xhaka with the big goal. How about that? Faroe Islands beat Malta. I'm telling you right now, Faroe Islands are an interesting little team. They kind of remind you a bit of Iceland, kind of a mini Iceland. Serbia wins. And also, I gave out both teams a score in Turkey, Russia. So that came in. Gave out a loser. I did give out Montenegro at plus 600. Really was just taking a shot there. They draw 0-0 with Romania. And Italy, definitely a one to forget for Italy. Italy doesn't play well today. Italy really struggling right now in world football. Can't really find any sort of cohesion. Didn't play well. I'm going conservative on Sunday with Saints Packers. All right. We'll get into NFL in a little bit. Chris Kolednik, what's up? Any opinion on TCU SMU? I talked about that one today. I will say I have a play on that game, so I'm going to kind of stay away from it. I have a play on something in that game, so I'm going to avoid that one. Do you personally bet on the plays you give out on those shows? Yep, I do. I bet small amounts on them. I don't bet full units on them. What do you think about Boise State minus 32? Well, I mean, I would definitely lay it with them. I'm not taking points with UConn ever. UConn are a dreadful defense. They're going on the road here. It's not something I'm getting into. Boise State seems like a team that will dominate teams all year. They have a good quarterback good quarterback, Dave Madison in the backfield. They're not a team that I'm looking to bet against. I thought they were terrific last week against Troy on the road. It's going to be a long year for UConn. They're not someone that I want to get behind. I never want to back UConn. For me, it could be one too many points, but this looks to me like I don't know, 48-7, 48-10, something like that. I'd be much more inclined to take the points as opposed to laying them. You look at really everywhere, everybody on Boise State, whether it's Ripon, there's some really quality receivers. They're always a good defensive team, a team that bring back 9 starters. What do you look at with UConn and you're excited about? I mean, seriously, Pendle, I'm not exactly interested in. Defensively, they might be the worst team in the country. This is going to be a difficult football game. I'd expect Boise to really show out in this one and slam UConn. Porter or Garcia. I will have a video for that tomorrow. I'm going to do something tonight on that fight. I'll send that out, and you'll be able to watch that at some point. Donnie Wrightside, my man, my partner, checking in. Hope Donnie is doing well. The website is on and popping. We're both starting out on the negative end, but you know what? It's only a week into the month. We're not overly worried about that. I think we all are well aware. Donnie and I know how to pick football and baseball and basketball games, so we'll be fun. Donnie got NFL coming up, which, look, I mean, I think the proof is really in the pudding with Donnie Brightside. Donnie is a terrific NFL handicapper, as many people know. He knows NFL very well, and I'm looking forward to seeing what he can do this year. in the NFL. I mean, you look at the last couple of years with Donnie, he's 37-12 last year. I mean, just keep that in mind. I mean, 50 plays, he hit 37 of them. It's pretty impressive. I mean, that's 75.5% in football. It's guys, it's not about quantity of plays. It's about quality of plays. And Donnie did a great job last year. You look at the last couple of years, really. I mean, 2017 season, he was the leader in return on investment there. 2016, he was the return on investment leader on Handicapper Watchdog as well. And in 2015-16. So the last 3 years, Donnie has been absolutely terrific in NFL. He just does well there. So I'm looking forward to seeing his plays out and getting involved as we head into the season. So keep in mind that is coming up. So the proof is all in the pudding. Make sure you get Donnie's plays at rightwager.com. Are you buying Arkansas State covering this week? Well, I'll tell you what, they're definitely a team that has the ability to cover. You look at it in the Sun Belt, it's Arkansas State's world. We're all really just living in it. They're going to win that conference, and they're going to win it going away. They're a very good team. They're coached by Neil Brown, a guy that has done or not Neil Brown. The other Neil Brown's at Troy, I believe. The quarterback or the coach at Arkansas State. I'm trying to remember. Either way, the quarterback is terrific, Justice Hansen. He's been, a 4,000-yard passer last year, 37 touchdowns. And you look at over the week, Southeast Missouri State, he threw 6 touchdowns, 72% of his passes. This is a big play offense. This is a team that can hang in the game against Alabama. It's not going to be easy. Look, Nick Saban will run up the score in this game. Nick Saban will, and Alabama will put up 45 points. But, as far as getting 5 touchdowns with a team like Arizona or Arkansas State, yeah, I'd be interested. Arkansas State's this is like a Super Bowl game to them. This is like a championship game to them. I think they're a team that can hang. You look at last year, West Kentucky hung, I believe, with Alabama. Generally, Saban and Alabama don't cover these big games. This is a lot of points to lay. I would only be taking the points here. Barry says, if Donnie hits 75% this year, I'll kiss him. I guess you got to just wait there. How do we get Pixie Bet full units on? You go to the website, rightwager.com, and that's how you get my picks. Dean Stevenson, what's up, Dean? Dean checking it. I haven't heard from him in a while. Dean used to call into the Blackjack Fletcher show, which, by the way, might be coming back, everybody. Blackjack Fletcher and I might be coming back. We've talked about it, him and I, over the last day or two. We might be coming back to do a day show a week. We might just do kind of an all-encompassed, a 2-hour show every week. It'll be a call-in show like it was before. And I know people enjoyed that, so we might be bringing that back. We were getting a ton of listeners during basketball season last year, so that might be something we're going to bring back. So keep in mind and look out for that. Bruce Chad checking in. Bruce Chad, what's happening? I'm sure Bruce Chad has had some dominoes today, and he's ready to go. Is weather going to be a factor for TCU SMU? I don't believe so. Looks scattered, very scattered. And as many know, if you know anything about weather, in summer, it's never easy to predict thunderstorms. They kind of pop up. But looking at the radar, I'm not seeing anything very ominous. So I think we'll be okay. I think you'll be okay if you want to get on that game. A couple games that I have my eye on, a couple big ones, really. USC Stanford. Interesting game here. Big line. You're getting 6 points here with USC, 5-6 points. It's a lot of points getting with USC. I don't think Stanford is the number 10 team in the country. I don't think they're that good a football team. They're a good football team. I don't think they're a great team. But you look at last week, and you look at what Stanford was able to do against San Diego State. They weren't able to do anything on the ground. Bryce Love had 29 yards rushing, the lowest output of his career. San Diego State sold out against the run. The problem was it was man-on-man coverage in the secondary. And Arcega-Whiteside exploited that. He was getting one-on-one coverage with an underdeveloped secondary. For USC, it's going to be a bit different. USC is faster, quicker, and stronger than San Diego State. I'd expect it to be a little bit more neutral as far as what you're getting in the secondary and you're getting against the run. For me, this is a game where I think will come down to the wire. I don't think it'll be as easy for Stanford to move the football. I thought they were a bit fortunate last week in what those matchups kind of dictated with. Stanford, as far as the stadium, I'm sure it'll be a nice atmosphere there. But for USC, this is a big game. It's a Pac-12 game. I'm interested in the points here if I'm looking towards it. Storm Sports checking in. Yep, talked about that one. Very sad. Hate to see it. What do you think of Northwestern? Their D looked horrible last week. Yeah, it did. I mean, they had to match score for score with Purdue. Listen, here's my problem with Northwestern. Are we going to get a full football game out of Clayton Thorson? If we do, I think they beat Duke. Because Duke's not built for a shootout. Duke's not built to run with Northwestern. And Northwestern's offense looked very good. Larkin was very good. I thought when we saw Thorson in the game, he was awesome. Wildcats have covered 7 of 9 against the Blue Devils. They've owned this series. But you got to figure, can they figure it out in the secondary? I thought at times Northwestern secondary looked lost. But for me, I want to get involved here, but I need to know that I'm going to get a full 60 minutes out of Thorson. I don't want to see this back and forth with TJ Green and you're taking him out and having him on a pitch count. I don't want to see this cautious crap. You had a couple extra days to prepare for this one. Duke, a pretty good pass defense, so this will be a tougher game. Purdue's defense not very good. You're going to have to be able to run the ball here if you're Northwestern. And credit Northwestern for being able to go out and recruit the way they've been able to at the running game. You had Justin Jackson for a few years. Now you have Larkin, who was very good last week. You got to be happy with the way they've been able to run the ball. You're going to give Larkin plenty of carries in this one. I think Northwestern edges it. It's down on 2.5, so you're under that field goal. I'd be looking towards getting that field goal here at home. This should be a win for Northwestern and a cover. Where else are we going to go here? It's raining in Dallas. Listen, rain does not matter in the total. Stop purveying that crap. Listen, don't bet the a total there. I don't know what to tell you, man. Just because it's raining at one spot in Dallas doesn't mean it's raining everywhere. I'm very into weather. I understand where weather is. Listen, if you want to bet an under solely based on it's raining a little bit, keep in mind it's only 5:18, so that doesn't mean it's going to rain 3 hours from now. But hey, listen, good luck, man. Where are we going to go here? What else do we got here? Blackjack's been hot. Good for him. Hope he's doing well. Get lost nasty. I told my wife I would not gamble anymore, and I changed my mind. Not sure what you're talking about there, Barry. But let me go through some other games. If you have any other questions on games, feel free to send them in. Michigan State, Arizona State. Good game here, late night. This is going to be a fun one out in the desert. Michigan State obviously escaped last week against Utah State. Wasn't easy. Listen, you look at the kind of the trends here. I mean, Spartans are 1-8 as a favorite over the last 4 years in away games. That doesn't bode well here, laying points against an upstart Sun Devil team. An upstart Sun Devil team that I liked coming into the season. I think Herm Edwards is a good hire. Is he going to be a great hire on the field? I don't know. I mean, he's been away from football a long time. But I saw an interview with him the other day, and it seemed like he has renewed, optimism in his life. He seems happy. He seems at peace with this decision. He seems happy to be back on the sidelines. I think he is a master motivator, and I think players love him. I think they love playing for the guy, and I think he's going to do some good things out there. I really do. You kind of like one of those kind of older guys that finds their way at a school and finds a home, is able to recruit because he can go into a parent's household and make those kids feel safe when they send their kids to a university. He's not going to overuse kids. He's not going to put them in harm's way like some of these guys are. He seems to truly care about the students. And that's one thing I always look for in a coach. A coach is not some rah dickhead that yells in someone's face. A coach is someone that can make you a better man off the field as well. And I feel like Herm can do that. I like the hire. I do. I think it's a good hire for them. I think it fits with some of the guys they have there. I think N'Keal Harry is a top flight receiver in the country. Wilkins is a flamethrower, as we know. Benjamin can run the football. This could be a good game. Good measuring pole for Arizona State. Will that defense be something that, is their undoing? It could be. And that's what maybe kind of keeps you off this one. But you're getting 6 with a home team that is kind of upstart. It's a tough one here. Because at the end of the day, I worry about Arizona State's defense. They always seem to be the undoing when they play a football game. So leave that for what it's worth. Hawaii overs look great. I think they keep it up. Look, they shouldn't have any problem moving the ball against the Rice Owls. Rice is not going to give much in the way of a front. They can't stop anybody. And you look at Hawaii, you can't get 3 easier defenses to face in the first 3 weeks. Colorado State, Navy, and Rice. You would expect Hawaii to put up 50. It's kind of what they almost do now. Question is Rice going to put up any points? I think they can. I have this one pegged as like 52-24, something like that. 54-27, 70 seems too low for me. You got to ask yourself, where would you say you don't like the over? Like if this game came out at 80, would you still consider the over here? Maybe I'd kind of, I think maybe anything over 75, I'd kind of say, you know what, I'm gonna look to avoid. But 70 seems a bit low. 54-27. The only thing that will concern you is, will Hawaii take the air out of the ball? But Navy could have did that too, and they didn't. This could be a lot of garbage time late. Yeah, anything over 75, I wouldn't be interested in. But at 70, still think it's low enough. Pitt, Penn State, any thoughts? Well, I'll tell you what I want to happen. I'd love to see Pittsburgh kick the shit out of Penn State. If you know me, I'm not a big Penn State guy, particularly lately. This is a tough game for the Nittany Lions. I don't think they're as good as people think they are. They lost way too much. That's the problem. But you ask yourself, has Pitt become a better defense? Have they fixed some of their problems? We didn't really find that out last week because Albany's not gonna bother them. But Albany was able to move the ball, and that's a concern for me. I feel like a lot of people are kind of looking at what we saw last week and saying, well, Penn State's going to play bad because they played bad last week. Well, that doesn't mean they're going to play bad this week. McSorley's still a good player. He's still Miles Sanders. This is an emotional game. It's a PA rivalry. I would think it stays close, but 8's a lot different than 10. If I'm getting 10, 12 points here, I'm interested. At 8, not as interested. So I don't know if I answered your question there. It's a tough game for me. I'll be watching it. And the fact that it's down to 7 now, that makes me, at this point, almost want to take Penn State. The public likes Pittsburgh here. And what we know about public dogs, they don't normally come in. So at this number, I got to go Penn State. Because I don't know if I believe in Pittsburgh's defense. I haven't seen them enough. Albany doesn't, really do much for me. Is SMU's defense that bad? I think it's pretty bad. And I think in this matchup, I think it's going to be bad. I don't think they can stop very many people. And TCU goes warp speed. They're fast. Sean Robinson is really good. Everyone forget about Lane Kiffin. I don't know about that. I like them this week. I think they take care of business against the Air Force. The last thing we saw is FAU getting absolutely destroyed. That's what we saw. I just think it was a bad day for them. I do. I mean, I don't know what else to say. I think Singletary is a big game here. Last season, Air Force was really bad against the run. I mean, they allowed 243 yards a game on the ground, and they yielded more yards per carry than anyone in the country. That's a big concern in this game because you know what FAU is going to do? They're going to pound the fucking football. They're going to give it to Singletary. They're going to let, whether it's Robeson or DeAndre Johnson, whoever's running the ball, they're going to run the ball. You ask yourself though, can FAU stop the option attack, which is a little bit more solid than, let's say, not solid in the way of good, more solid in the fact that it's a little bit more slow. It's not as potent as, let's say, Navy's. Worthman, a bit of a thrower, a little bit more of a thrower. The problem is, I don't think Air Force is a good matchup for FAU because the way you beat FAU is throwing the ball at them. They allowed 334 yards passing last week. Can Worthman throw the ball vertically? I don't know if the rushing attack will work great here. Can you break off some big plays? I like FAU here. I think this number's too low. Tough trip, though. Going to Colorado Springs is never easy. You always like to kind of back the military schools. This number seems a bit too low to me, though. I just am very concerned about Air Force's rush defense. I think they have trouble in this game. And if we've seen anything from FAU, it's they jump on people quick. Hey, big man, any Thames for NFL? Not sure what you mean there. Heavy rain at A&M game. All right. I believe they play in a dome, don't they? Might be wrong. Does Kentucky have a chance against Florida? No, I don't think they have a chance to win. Can they cover? Maybe. I'm pretty high on Florida. If you followed my preseason stuff, I think they're a really good football team. And if they can get good quarterback play, I think they're a sleeper team. And look, I mean, keep in mind, Kentucky haven't beaten Florida since 1986. So, it doesn't really bode well for them to win this game. Very good against the run. I don't know if they can, run the ball in Florida. You want to run the ball with Benny Snell. I don't think that's something that will be too easy. The line seems about where I would probably put it. Slight lean Florida here. But Franks is, who knows what you're going to get from him. Would you bet over-unders based on who the ref for the game is? No. I don't really think that is I don't even think there's stats for that anyway. So I'll try to get to all the questions here. Someone asking about UAB, Alabama Birmingham, who, look, I think under Bill Clark, I really love UAB. I think they're a team that, always will make a bowl game. They're always going to play well. And at this number, I think they're a nice play against Coastal Carolina. Coastal stinks. And they're one of the top 10 worst teams in the country. You look at last week, they get absolutely crushed by South Carolina. South Carolina should crush them. The offense was humming for the Gamecocks. You would expect it to hum here. You look at UAB, beat Savannah State 52-0, covering a 39-point number. They held Savannah State to 178 yards total. Very good. Great defense. Let's ask ourselves here, okay? Let's put this into perspective. UAB was 39-point favorites against Savannah. They're 9.5-point favorites against Coastal Carolina. So that's basically saying in a football game, Coastal would be a 30-point favorite against Savannah? Is that what that's saying? Maybe I'm confusing people here. I don't know. Listen, I think UAB are 10 points better than Coastal. I'm sure Coastal's going to want to obviously play well in this game because it's a game that they think maybe they can win, but UAB are solid. AJ Erdley's a really good quarterback. They have a great running back in Spencer Brown. Bill Clark is a good football coach. He's done tremendous things with this program. This number is not budged. I don't know if that has to do with just the game and no one really has interest in it. Sharp seem to be off of it. They don't. No one seems to be biting on this one, and that's good. You always want to kind of involve yourself with maybe games that we're not going to expect much from. Joe Mowgli is back for Coastal Carolina at the helm. He had a health issue, is out, which I don't know if that's going to mean too much. Kilton Anderson at quarterback for the Chanticleers was injured last week. Is he going to play? I would probably lean with UAB. The number's weird for sure. Why is it seems a little low for me? Why is this number 15.5? I don't know. Seems scary to me. Thoughts on Memphis Navy? I've talked about that one a lot. Talked about it yesterday. I go over. I mean, is that game not 41-38? I mean, Memphis can't stop anybody. Navy can't stop anybody. Brady White should move the ball easily. I mean, that one's simple to me. I have 3 plays I'm looking at, though, on the client card. Very excited about these games. They'll be out later tonight, I'm hoping. And we'll look to right the ship. Listen, 1 and 2 I'll take. It's not the worst thing in the world, A couple other games, we'll look to wrap it up here in about 15 minutes, so feel free to send in any last-minute questions. I've talked a lot about Kansas State, Mississippi State. This is a weird line here. The line was about 9.5. Now it's down to 7.5. I don't really see. I don't get it. I don't understand the move down. This looks like a copacetic Mississippi State win, wall to wall. Don't like Bill Snyder. I haven't liked him for many years. I don't like the quarterback situation at K-State. It's a mess right now. And Nick Fitzgerald's back. Bill Snyder, they're 27-9 as an underdog since 2011. 13 of those being outright upsets. So he does well as an underdog. And I think that's one of the reasons Sharps are back in Kansas State here. They're a boring football team, though. They're hard to watch. They don't get many stops in the secondary. This seems like an easy pick here. Why is the line going the other way? Is the big question. Either we're getting a great line here, or somebody knows something here. But I feel like everything Mississippi State does well are going to bother K-State. And I'll stay away from it for that reason. I know you like Howard. Yeah, I mean, I got to see what the line is when it comes out. I like the over more. Austin Geis, what's happening? Do you think Hawaii will cover and go over? Talked about that one already. Can we get BMOC gun to NFL head predictions? Yeah, I'll do that right now, actually. Kyle Jackson had Mississippi State 13.5. Yeah, I mean, they seem like a much bigger favorite here. I don't know why the line's going the other way. Nick Newell, welcome in. Clemson, will they cover? That's a tough game. I didn't have much opinion on it in our show yesterday. Under looks decent, maybe. It seems a bit too high. But unders are tough to bet in college football. They're very tough. You really have to have that perfect storm defensively. I think Texas A&M will struggle to move the ball, though. But it's tough to play down at Kyle Field. So that's a tough one, Clemson alum. It's a pass for me. What else do we have here? I mentioned FAU, kind of like them. I might be crazy here. And again, I think Kansas are a mess, but I'm not sure CMU's much better. really. Might be a spot to maybe look at. I mean, Kansas, are they going to lose every game? And keep in mind, Kansas lost to Nicholls State in their last game. And I talked about Nicholls. I think they're better than they're going to sneak up on teams. Might be reaching on this one. It is a road game for Kansas. And, I mean, does anyone ever want to back those losers? Before I get into NFL, I want to throw out some thoughts on the FCS FBS card. Maybe games to keep your eye on. Portland State, Oregon should be a point fest there. The Vikings are generally up tempo, like to go quick. I talked Howard Kent State. I think Howard Kent State will be a fun football game. If you don't know, Cam Newton's little brother, Kalen Newton, is the quarterback at Howard, and he is an electrifying football player. He's a kid that had 532 yards last week against the Ohio Bobcats. So this is a guy that you want to keep your eye on. He can move the ball. And Kent are a team that I think are going to struggle this year defensively. Kent's goal this year is to run quicker. They have a new quarterback, Woody Barrett. He's going to, obviously make this offense a little bit more quick, a little bit more fresh. I'm interested to see what we get on a total in that game. Won't be out till tomorrow probably, but at any rate, I'm excited to see what we get either way. Take a look here, see if there's anything else we can take a look at. Wake should crush Towson. Boston College should beat up on Holy Cross. Same with Akron against Morgan State. Morgan State, one of those really bad MEAC teams. Wagner, they'll get crushed by Syracuse. Are there any games that I see an upset maybe? Wow, not really. There's not a lot of great matchups tomorrow. Sacramento State's not too bad. They play San Diego State. They have a really good quarterback, Kevin Thompson. He wasn't fully healthy last season, but I think he had like 30 touchdowns over 8 games. So he's a guy that you want to keep your eye on. Pretty good defense for the Hornets. They're a team that I would have in the top 25. Maybe in the right point spread area, they could maybe get the job done against SDSU. SDSU generally a team that will maybe let teams hang around. They're not great with covering numbers because they don't have a particularly good passing offense. If you're getting 35, maybe I'd look towards it. I don't know what we're going to get there though. Miami, here we go. Miami against Savannah State. This is a game where I fully expect Miami to win 59-0, 62-0, something along those lines. I think they take some frustration out on Savannah State. If you know anything about this program, Savannah, they arguably are the worst team in the entire country between both subdivisions. They're horrendous. They are undersized. They're just bad. I don't know how else to say it. 2 years ago, Miami played Florida A&M. They won 70-3. Florida A&M on similar wavelengths to Savannah. And if you actually know, a few years ago, I believe it was, I want to say it was 2013 maybe. Miami beat Savannah State. I want to say in the area of like 78-7 or something like that. They absolutely destroyed Savannah. Destroyed them. I'd expect Miami to take some frustration out here. I'd expect to get a line in the mid high 40s. I'm not laying it here. This is one of those where you just kind of lay it. Hey, Big Ron, you can go fuck yourself. All right? Take a look at the camera, Big Ron. I can't block you because I'm trying to locate you. Take it easy. Fuck off. Thanks. But yeah, that would be one I would probably be laying it with. I tell you what, if I'm Mr. Holgerson down in Morgantown, I'm a little worried about Youngstown coming in. Youngstown are a team that look, under Bo Pelini, they're a pretty good football team. This is a team that were runner-ups last year in the FCS. Tevin McCaster is a terrific running back. Nathan Mays can move the football. physical defense. Be interesting. This is always interesting watching top 25 FCS teams take on teams like West Virginia. Sonny Vega, what's happening, Sonny Vega? So yeah, that's an interesting one. Bo Pelini might have something for that ass. Where else are you getting previews on FCS teams? If you have one, let me know. Is anyone else doing that? I don't think. Anything else here to keep our eyes on? I'll tell you another one I would keep my eye on, and that's where was that one I was looking at? Let me find it here. 1 second. Never mind. It's the wrong game. Well, I don't know why I thought it was this game. Never mind. So, yeah, I mean, Nichols, another tough game for Nicholls State against Tulane. If you know anything about the geography of the United States, Nicholls State is not far from Tulane. That will be a big brother, little brother matchup. So keep your eye on that one. The blowouts tomorrow will be Florida State, Auburn, North Texas will crush Incarnate Word. Miami's going to absolutely destroy Savannah. What am I comfortable with on a total in the Howard game? Man, I don't know. I'm hoping we get 60. I thought your sweater said Macedonia for a minute. No, it says make Obama president again. I thought the shirt was funny, so and it was something that I kind of buy into. So I thought it was something I would grab. But no, I maybe I should get a shirt. This is Macedonia. So yeah, I'm excited too. I ordered another chain today. Should be in within a week or two. So I always love going to buy jewelry. So at least necklaces. I don't really buy any other jewelry. I actually also got a gold bracelet as well. So looking forward to getting that. Shout out to my man Pete over at City Line Jewelers. My man. What do you think the line will be for Oregon? I don't know. Probably in the 40s. I don't have much opinion on Michigan. You would think they'd get it going, but I don't have much on that. Did you say Pittsburgh, PSU? Yep, talked about that one already. Yeah, 14 karat, bro. That's right. All right, let's go rapid fire. 4 minutes. All right, good for you, bro. Let's go rapid fire here. NFL. What do we say? Oh, by the way, Washington State against San Jose State. That should be a fucking killjoy game. Mike Leach should be able to score many points. Let's go rapid fire with our NFL picks. Now, I'm strictly going off the top of my head here. And if you know me about me, I'm actually a pretty solid NFL capper. I did well last year in the NFL Super Contest on Twitter. I got 9th, I think, out of 130 people. I'm actually a pretty good NFL handicapper. I do it strictly for fun. Once in a while, I will have a client play on it. Exactly, Sonny. I only get custom, dude. Only custom, bro. But no, it ain't too bad. Getting necklaces like this aren't bad. I don't wear anything gaudy or nothing. It's always solid gold. Nothing crazy. All right, let's go. Let's go through it. Pittsburgh, Cleveland. I like Pittsburgh here. I think Cleveland, people are buying way too much into this Cleveland team. It's going to take some time. They're still a team far away. People are going to be buying into Le'Veon Bell stuff. I still think James Conner's fine. Ben will be good. Look, it's the fucking Browns at the end of the day. You're not getting enough points to warrant taking them here. Numbers shot down. I select the Steelers. Niners, Vikings. Tough game here, but I lean Vikings. I wonder about the Niners defense. Are they good enough pass rush? Minnesota are very good at home against the spread, and I'm not looking to bet against Mike Zimmer. Sorry. Zimmer 12-4 over his last 16 games at home. They've also covered a 14 of 19 in that stadium and in domes in general. So for me, I lean with Minnesota. Jimmy G will be good. As many know, I'm a big fan of his. I think he'll struggle, though, against this Viking defense. What else do we have here? Bengals, Colts. I'm looking Colts here. This line makes no sense to me. No one wants the Colts. No one likes the Colts. But at the end of the day, they're a way better team with Andrew Luck. Are they a good team? No. Are they a good defense? Not really. But they're a better secondary than people think. I like Malik Hooker a lot. I think they're a team that can get some stops. I don't love Andy Dalton. I don't like Marvin Green. So yeah. Yeah. I mean, for me, it's Colts here. Why are the Colts 2.5-point favorites? 85% of the money's on the Bengals. This one stinks. I like the Colts. Bills, Ravens. I think the Bills are a bad football team. I think they struggle to score this year. I think it's going to take a lot of time. I mean, is Shady going to play the entire year? The Ravens are good. They went out and really scouted, went out and got some really hot, solid receivers. It's time to put up or shut up if you're Joe Flacco. Go out and have a good year. The problem that I have with them is they're too dependent on their kicker. Donnie Wright talks about this. When they get inside the 40, it's kicking. They have trouble getting to the end zone at times. I kind of like the under, but we lost out on the number. Gun to my head, I'd still go under. Jags, Giants. I think the Jags win this game, and I think they cover. I think the Giants are going to have trouble this year with both their defensive and offensive lines. I have major concerns about this offensive line against this Jags defense. The game in the NFL is won in the trenches. That's one of the reasons the Eagles won the Super Bowl, because A, they had a great defensive line, and B, they had a great offensive line. The Giants have neither of those. Their offensive line on the right side is scary. I don't want to deal with it. It's not good. And I think the Jags have a field day on Eli Manning, frankly. I think the Jags go in, they get good enough quarterback play and get the job done here against the New York Giants. Giants are better, but this is a tough game. Bucks Saints, lean over. I think there's gonna be a lot of mop up time here for the Bucks. Fitzpatrick is capable. I think he could put up 17, 20 points here. I think this is like a 33-20 type of game, something like that. I'll go over the number down at the Dome. Bree should have a big day. If you have a fantasy player, start your Saints. They should have big days here. Texans, Patriots. I'm down on New England. I've said it. I think last year was the last time of big-time glory for the Pats, but I'm sure they'll make me think twice about that. I'm very high, though, on the Texans. Coming into the season, I think they're one of the more interesting teams in the NFL. I picked them to go to the Super Bowl and win the Super Bowl. Look, there are a lot of question marks. As with any team, can they stay healthy? Can Deshaun Watson stay healthy? Can J.J. Watt stay healthy? Can Clowney be in there the whole year? Is their secondary improved? I love the addition of Mathau. I think it's a terrific signing. You go out and get Jonathan Joseph, a good cornerback, Justin Reed for depth from Stanford. Kevin Johnson's back healthy. I think they're a really good football team. I think 6 is valuable here. I'll take the 6 in a close game. Houston Dolphins, or I'm sorry, not Houston, Tennessee, Miami. I like Miami here. Line doesn't make any sense either. You're getting a road dog here, who I think are better than people think. I like their defense that Miami has. I think they're as good as they're going to get offensively. It'll be this year. This line stinks, just like the Colts game. I'll take both home dogs in these situations. Denver, Seattle. I'm never interested in Denver on the road. I'm a lot higher on Denver than other people as well. I think they can get to the Super Bowl. I think they're really a quarterback away, and I think they have a pretty good quarterback now. I mean, you look at last year. I mean, offensively, they're very good. They always have been very good. They went out and made some changes. They weren't great last year, but they're missing a quarterback. They went out and got a cornerback. They have a pretty good run game. Receivers are always very good. The offensive line's fine. You go out and get a guy like Jared Vaughn here. Guys like that can fill in and play those right and left tackle positions. Defensively, I love the Chubb addition. Derek Wolfe, Von Miller, great defensive front there. I like Denver. I think they cover. I think they beat up on the Seahawks here. A few more. Dallas, Carolina. Talked about this one. I like Carolina. I don't think Dallas are very good, frankly. It's a tough game on the road. Carolina's going to have a big year at a DJ Moore, Christian McCaffrey. I'd expect that offense to hum. I don't trust Dallas defensively. Washington, Arizona. Lean Arizona. Don't like Washington on the road. What are we going to get out of Alex Smith? Run game there is poor. I still don't like their defense. Vita Vea. I thought that was the guy they should have targeted in the draft. They weren't able to get him. I like Arizona here. Green Bay, Chicago. I'll take Green Bay at this price. People are jumping all over the floor with Khalil Mack. I don't think he's going to play a whole lot. I think it's going to take some time for the Bears. They'll be an interesting team this year, but I lean Aaron Rodgers at home. I like the Jimmy Graham edition. Um, I think defensively they've got significantly better. I lean Green Bay. So there you go. All the picks on Sunday for you in what, 10 minutes? Who does that? All right, guys, that'll be it. Everyone have a great Friday evening. Rest in peace to Mac Miller, one of the great artists of the last 10 years in the rap game, one of the young talents. Funk Best Flex once called him the best rapper in the game. And we will miss him. I know I will. A big fan of Mac Miller. So everybody go ahead and drink some Kool-Aid and frozen pizza tonight for our man, Mac Miller. Fly high, my man. We'll miss you. Everyone have a great night. I will be on tonight with Gabriel Morency, 10 o'clock Eastern. We'll go over some college stuff as we always do. We'll have some fun as well with some other stuff also. Maybe talk some, NFL. Who knows where we'll go with it. Everyone, hopefully you join us for that. I'll also be on with Donnie Rightside tomorrow, 11 o'clock Eastern on SBR. We've got some big things coming up, we hope. We're working on something big that not many people are doing. So we'll just say it involves something good. That's all we'll say. If you want my picks, you can join me at rightwager.com. Looking forward to having a big weekend. And NFL's coming. It's going to be here on Sunday. You want to get on board with Donnie's plays. Baseball is baseball. Who cares? Let's focus on football. Not been many better than Donnie over the last couple years. And Ian Cameron joining us. He'll be on with us October 1. Ian's stuff will be up on the website soon. Very fair pricing. You'll get NHL. You'll get CFL. You get UFC. You'll get any college football and basketball that Ian's on as well. Ian going to be a great addition to the site. He's going to help us in markets that we don't hit already. So make sure you check out Ian Cameron at rightwager.com as well. Any betcasts in the near future? I did one last night, David. You missed out. I did one on the Eagles and Falcons. As far as betcasts, none that I know of. I don't believe we're going to do them this year at SBR. I might do them from time to time if there's an important game on, but they're very difficult. I work all week, and it's tough to sit there for 3 hours. So not that I know of, but we'll do spontaneous ones. Thanks all of you for listening. I'm out here.